Alright, and welcome back, guys, to part 3 of What If Female Deku with the Red Lantern. Now, I just. I just want to say this right here. I intentionally left the last part off on a cliffhanger just to see how you guys would react. And one of the comments I got, it made my day. So, you know who you are if you posted that comment, you know who you are. It just made my day. So thank you for that. And for those of you who have put down your comments and have deleted it, please do not do that. I would love to see what you guys say. Or if you haven't commented, do leave. If you guys want to, you can leave a comment so I can get your how you feel about these what ifs. Anyway, let's continue. We pick up where we last left off with Izumi pointing her ring towards the group of villains, as all of Class 1A would be questioning who this is because they haven't seen her before. Is she a vigilante, maybe? With Aizawa looking at her and noticing the insignia on her jacket, which is right here, the insignia of the Red Lantern Corps. As Aizawa would get up, as you'd say, I didn't expect there to be any Red Lanterns on Earth at any time. With Izumi saying, well, this was an emergency, so I had to get here. Now, Aizawa does not know about Izumi. He doesn't, because Guy Gardner I believe Guy Gardner is a member of the Justice League, which does exist in this universe. Sorry for not putting that up there in the last part. The Justice League does exist, and so does the other Lantern Corps. With Izumi saying, well, Guy Gardner called me here, so I had to be here. As I would say, I see. Well, you seem to know what you're doing, so I'll leave these villains to you. As he then jumps back up to go and get back to his class, due to him being heavily injured. As Izumi would say, with pleasure. As she would clench her fist, and her ring would begin to glow. As construct saw blades, bats, and any other weapon you can think of would appear. As Izumi would say, I'm going to have so much fun. With the villains looking at her saying, she's just one person, she's no Eraserhead, let's get her. As they would begin to charge towards her. With Izumi immediately saying, your choice. As she would send all the blunt objects towards the villains, knocking some of them out. As she then creates construct rifles to shoot at them. Now these constructs don't really do... construct bullets don't really do any actual... more or less act like a blunt object rather than actual bullets. When they hit them, the villains just get knocked down. With Shigaraki beginning to scratch his neck, saying, she's ruining our plans. Nomu, get her! As the Nomu would begin charging at her. With Izumi seeing this, as she would immediately put up a wall and back off as the Nomu would smash through it. With Izumi noticing this, as she would think to herself, guess I'm going to have to use it then. As she would put up a barrier around herself. It's like actually around her body, not like those bubbles that you usually see as a barrier. As she would fly towards it, the Nomu, with the Nomu throwing a punch, and the barrier not even having a scratch on it, as Izumi would land on top of the Nomu and begin to spew her napalm blood, which she would jump off the Nomu as she would then... Oh no, it was napalm vomit, sorry. As she would use a ring and shoot a laser at the napalm, causing it to ignite. Now, here's the thing. I do not know how napalm works, so this is how it usually works. This is how I think it works. As the Nomu would begin to run around and eventually put the flames out, with Shigaraki beginning to laugh and say, "You fool, this thing was created to kill All Might. It has super strength, super speed, and shock absorption and regenerative abilities." As Izumi would say, "So it can regenerate, huh?" I've faced off against some guys who can regenerate. As she would then crack her neck, as she would say, "This is nothing new." As she would then create a miniature... Okay, this is going to be a bit overpowered, so do bear with me. She creates a construct star. Yes, she creates a literal sun from her ring. Don't ask me how, it's just roll with it. As she would create this construct, she would throw it up into the air, as she would then grab the Nomu with the ring, and throw the Nomu into that construct star, which would then go hurtling into space towards the actual star, because it doesn't really produce any heat. It more or less has a gravitational pull. As the construct would dissipate, as the Nomu would begin flying towards the sun, as it would begin to burn up, approaching the surface of the sun, until finally there's nothing left of it. With Izumi basically being exhausted, as her ring flashes and says, "Power level at 5%. With Shigaraki scratching his neck, as the ring then flashes again, power level 10%, 18%, as it continues to rise, 18%, 90%, 50%, 100%, as Shigaraki would scream, "You cheated!" As he would run towards Izumi, as she would notice that the ring's power level is climbing even higher, 120%, 150%, 190%. With Izumi pointing her ring towards Shigaraki, as she would blast out all that extra hate, rage towards Shigaraki, as it would come out in the form of a ram, which would slam into Shigaraki and send him flying back. With Kurogiri catching him, as he would say to Shigaraki that they don't have time, that the Nomu's gone and they have no way of beating her, or All Might if he arrives. As Izumi would look at them with the little bits of hate like emanating from her eyes, as Shigaraki would say that he's right and that they should retreat. As he would look towards Izumi, as he would say, "Hold on, give me a minute. Sorry about that." As Shigaraki would say that this isn't the last time they'll see him, and the next time that he sees her, she will die. As Shigaraki then goes through the portal created by Kurogiri, as it begins to close. With Izumi then basically headed back off into the sky as everyone in Class 1A watches, including Bakugo, as Bakugo would think to himself, do I know her? And that is where I'm going to end this part off. I do hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'm sorry if it's quite short. I just wanted to cover this little segment right here because I have no plan on doing the rest of it. So I will upload again tomorrow. So don't worry about that, and I will see you guys next time.